I stood in the hallway with a folder of client paperwork pressed against my chest, staring at a keypad lock on my studio door. A keypad lock I did not install. Behind the door, I could hear a TV, laughter, the sharp rip of packing tape, and a voice I knew the way you know a bad smell you can't unlearn. My older sister. Loud, comfortable, untouchable. My name is Naomi. I restore rare books, maps, and paper artifacts. Quiet is part of the job. Control is the job. The room behind that door is supposed to be clean, climate-stable, and safe enough that a 200-year-old sheet of paper won't curl at the edges. Derek, the building manager, stood next to me with his MasterCard in his hand and a look that said he already regretted his day. Behind us waited a couple I'd been trying to impress. Corporate tenants. 2-year relocation. Perfect income while I took an out-of-town contract. They were dressed like people who read contracts before signing. I was dressed like someone trying not to panic. I typed my code. Denied. I typed it again. Denied. I didn't change anything, I said, more to myself than anyone. Derek frowned. You didn't request a lock change. No. He swiped his MasterCard. The lock released with a heavy click, and the door drifted inward. The smell hit first. Not paper and clean air and the faint mineral scent of archival boxes. It smelled like fried food, cheap perfume, and stale garbage, the kind of odor that clings to cardboard and fabric and won't leave without a fight. Then the view landed like a punch. My studio looked like a warehouse. Brown boxes stacked high, bubble mailers scattered like fallen leaves, packing peanuts rolling across the floor. My work tables were buried under tape guns and heat sealers. Bright neon labels shouted nonsense about energy and metabolism and immunity. The space I built for precision had been turned into a shipping pit. On my restored antique settee, legs tucked under her like she owned the place, sat my sister Sienna. She was eating noodles out of a takeout container and watching something on my monitor like it was her living room. She didn't stand. She didn't apologize. She just looked at me and said, "Oh, you're home early." Then she glanced at the couple behind me like they were delivery drivers. "Can you close the door?" she added. "You're letting the cold air in." The tenants didn't step inside. I watched their eyes move over the chaos, the boxes pushed into the walkway, the packing piles stacked too close to outlets, the greasy containers on surfaces that were never supposed to see food. Their faces tightened in the particular way people look when they're doing a quick private risk assessment. In the middle of the room, on the floor, my nieces and nephew sat in a little circle, folding cardboard and stuffing plastic bottles into mailers. They looked tired, confused, resigned in the way children look when they've learned not to ask questions. My throat went dry, but my mind stayed cold, because I know what lives in this room. I have cabinets with solvents, adhesives, cleaning agents, deacidification materials. The stuff that's safe only when stored correctly and handled like it matters. The stuff you don't leave open. The stuff you definitely don't leave near kids. Derek's voice came out tight. "Naomi, do you have chemicals in here?" "Yes," I said. My eyes snapped to the storage area. The cabinet door was half open. Not just open, disturbed, rearranged. A bottle that should have been locked away sat on the floor beside a juice pouch. A kid's hand was inches from it. The corporate couple took one step back. The woman covered her mouth with her sleeve. "This is not what we expected," she said quietly. "I understand," I replied, because what else could I say? I didn't chase them. I didn't try to salvage it with excuses. They backed toward the door like the room itself was a liability, and then they were gone. Sienna watched them leave and made a little noise of annoyance, like I'd wasted her time. Then she looked at me with that smile I grew up with. The smile that says rules are for other people. The smile that assumes I will bend because bending is what I've always done to keep peace. "Relax," she said. "Mom said it's fine." I didn't react the way she wanted. I didn't yell. I didn't ask why she did this. I didn't demand explanations. I just looked, cataloged. Documented in my head like I was in a lab, not in the middle of a family betrayal. Blocked exit path, unlicensed commercial operation, lock tampering, children near hazardous materials, food contamination risk, property damage, insurance liability, fire code issues, trespassing. Sienna slurped a noodle and leaned back. Family helps family, she said, like it was a law of physics. They're helping me ship orders, it's good for them. My jaw clenched, but my voice stayed flat. How did you get in? She shrugged. Not hard when people stop making everything such a big deal. Then she smiled wider, enjoying the tension she created. If you don't like it, she said, eyes shining with confidence, call the police. She said it like a dare, like she'd never met consequences that didn't fold when she cried. I didn't argue, I didn't threaten, I didn't perform. I turned around and walked out. I didn't slam the door. I closed it with a controlled, quiet click. Behind me, she laughed. In the elevator down, my phone started buzzing like an angry insect. I didn't look, but I knew. My mother, my father. The family group chat that exists mainly to pressure me into being the reasonable one. Derek stood beside me, silent, jaw tight. When the doors opened to the lobby, the air felt clean. Normal. Like the building itself was trying to pretend nothing up there existed. Derek asked low, "Are you going to call your parents?" "No," I said. "They'll tell me to apologize." I finally looked at my phone, missed calls, messages. Stop being dramatic, don't embarrass us. Think about the kids. Let your sister build something, that's the trap. Think about the kids. It's always think about the kids when they want you to accept something that isn't safe, isn't fair, isn't legal. I stared at the screen until the anger settled into something sharper, a decision. She told me to call the police, so I did. I dialed, and when the operator answered, I kept my voice calm, professional, factual. I need to report unlawful entry and trespassing at my business property. There are minors inside and hazardous materials on site. I'm concerned for their safety. I did not say my sister. I did not say my family. I gave the language that actually matters when someone is endangering children and jeopardizing my livelihood. 2 officers arrived within minutes. I met them at the entrance with my ID and proof of ownership, because my life is paperwork and this was just another kind of restoration, restoring control. We rode the elevator up. The doors opened. The smell came out again, like the studio was exhaling. Sienna stepped forward chewing, then froze when she saw uniforms. Her face didn't show guilt. It showed irritation. "Are you serious?" She snapped at me. "You actually called them." One officer asked, calm and neutral, "Ma'am, do you have a lease to be here?" "My mom said I can," Sienna said loudly, instantly performing for authority like she always does. She gave permission. The officer looked at me. "Does your mother own the property?" "No," I said. He turned back to Sienna. "Then her permission is not relevant, you need to leave." Sienna blinked hard like he'd spoken a foreign language. "I have children," she said, voice rising, searching for a lever that always works. "We will make sure the children are safe," the officer replied. "You still need to leave." Something in my chest loosened, not triumph, not joy. Relief. Reality had walked into a space where Sienna thought only manipulation existed. The officers began directing the removal process, keeping it orderly, making sure the kids stayed back from the cabinet area. Derek hovered near me, checking exits, noting the stacks. The situation shifted from family drama into procedure, and Sienna hated that more than anything. Procedure doesn't care how loud you are. While she barked about how unfair it was, Derek tugged my sleeve and pulled me aside. His voice dropped. "Naomi, where's your flat file cabinet from the back room?" My pulse stuttered. The cabinet held antique prints and a commissioned piece I hadn't delivered yet. I walked fast to the back. The cabinet was open. Folder edges were bent. The places where 2 items belonged were empty. Gone. I came back out with my stomach turning. Derek held out his phone. I checked local resale groups. Look, a listing posted less than an hour ago. Vintage framed prints must pick up today, cash only. Seller name, Sienna R. The room narrowed around the edges, not from panic but from focus. I walked straight to the officers. "I need to report theft," I said. "She listed my property for sale. I have evidence." Sienna spun around like a cat that realized the door closed behind it. "I was borrowing them," she burst out. "I was going to pay you back when my business took off." One officer didn't raise his voice. He didn't react to her performance. "That's not how theft works," he said, and then the handcuffs came out. Sienna's confidence collapsed into a new shape: tears, shaking, outrage, the rapid swapping of masks. She tried to cling to anything that would make someone rescue her, but the law doesn't care about her brand. It doesn't care about her story. It cares about who owns what, who entered unlawfully, and who put children near chemicals. At the station, my parents arrived like a storm. My mother's face was red, blotchy, furious. My father looked like he wanted to break something. My mother pointed at me as if I had committed the crime. "How could you do this to your own sister?" My father hissed, "You're destroying the family." I didn't flinch. I didn't argue. Because in families like mine, the person who refuses to be used becomes the villain. I opened my bag and handed my father a printed list. Cleanup costs, locksmith, damage estimate, item value. Everything Sienna touched turned into a bill, and I wrote it down like I was documenting deterioration on a fragile page. He stared at it, hands trembling. My mother spat. "This is disgusting." "It's an invoice," I said. Then I looked at both of them and spoke with the same calm I use when I'm repairing a torn, century-old document. "You don't get to sacrifice me to keep her comfortable." My mother's mouth opened, ready to launch into a speech she's practiced for decades. But I didn't stay to hear it. I turned and walked out of the station into the night air. I felt empty for about 3 steps. Then I felt light, because I finally understood something I should have learned earlier. Peace isn't a place you build and hope nobody ruins. Peace is a boundary you enforce. Months passed. The studio was cleaned by professionals. The locks were replaced. Security upgraded. The cabinets secured like they should have been all along. A new tenant moved in who treated the space like it mattered, because to them it was just a property, not a playground. Sienna took a deal, probation, a record, consequences that don't vanish when the tears dry. My parents kept telling people I was heartless. But my phone got quieter. My sleep got deeper. My life stopped being a constant emergency that I didn't create. And for the first time in years, I could work with steady hands again. I used to think my sanctuary was a room with controlled humidity and locked cabinets. Now I know it's simpler than that. My sanctuary is the moment I stop making copies of the keys to my life for people who only know how to break in.